Here we go. We're going to look at deductions today as a part of net pay. Deductions are simply just subtractions. From one's gross pay. Okay. There, you saw a few on the pay stub before. Some common deductions are federal income tax, Medicare, Social Security, state income tax, and if you're in the manufacturing sector or a teacher like me, a lot of times you'll have union dues. Although right now there's a bill going through the state, I believe, that's saying that they're no longer trying to keep unions from being able to collect union dues right from pay stubs, which is irritating, but regardless. Is that any better? Yes, no?
Yeah.
I can zoom in a little bit. Okay. These are the main ones that you see a lot in the pay stub. You see on our example pay stubs. You'll see on yours when eventually you get your own pay stubs. Something that's you'll also see that's pretty important as far as how much you're being taxed is what's called your withholding allowance. How many people here have their own job, had to fill out a W-4 form for their job, and that sort of thing? When you fill out, it's a W-4 form is a form that you tend to get that your employers have to have you fill out so they know how much that they have to withhold for your taxes. And then you're allowed to claim what are called withholding allowances. Especially when you're younger, you generally should not just claim 0 withholding allowances. But it's an allowance. It's what do I want to say? What do I want to say here? This is depending on your marital status, dependence, and age. Marital status: are you married or not? Are you single? Do you have dependents? Do you support kids? Do you have that sort of thing? And age, and your own age. You can claim you can reduce the amount of taxes automatically taken out of your paycheck. By your marital status, dependence, and age, you can reduce the amount of taxes automatically taken out of your paycheck. Okay. So I have a table. I don't have a packet for you because I totally forgot to print them, but I have that right here. You'll get this table in your homework tonight. Here's an example of like a table that the government could use to calculate how much money you would owe in your taxes. Okay. Notice it tells you on one column how much money you could be, how much money you're earning, and up to what amount, how many withholding allowances you're claiming, and then we'll come down and over to figure out how much money that's going to eventually be withheld from your taxes in your paycheck. Notice that the amount of money goes down the more withholding allowances you claim. But as we said, you're going to end up paying the same amount anyways. It's just a matter of whether the government takes it up front or they take it later. Well, it's up to you. Unless, of course, you decide not to pay, which is generally a poor idea. Okay. So anyways, here we go. Young man named Tucker Whitley is a single hospital technician with weekly wages of $458. He claims one withholding allowance. What amount should be deducted from his wages for federal withholding tax? So let's see. He's single, so we'll use the single person's one. He has weekly wages of $458. So we'll zoom in a little bit. Let's find, let's see, 458 starts at 450 and goes up to 460, so he's in this row here. And he claimed one allowance, so we'll slide over to the one column. Tucker should be paying or having $43 withheld from his paycheck. In this case. Okay. Anytime I ask you what the withholding thing, I'll give you tables that you'll have. You're not generally just going to pull this out of the thin air. It's how the world works. Oh, look, Carrie. She's a married worker, earning $514 each week. She claims two allowances. What amount should be deducted from hers? Well, let's see. If she's married, she's not single, so we'll have to leave that one behind. Well, look. Conveniently, there's a married person's withholding payroll table. So let's see. How much should Carrie should be having withheld from hers? How much should Carrie have withheld? She earns between what, $510 and $520. No, she earns what? Yeah, $514. So she's in this range. And she has how many exemptions? Two. So Carrie should be having $23 withheld. Other things that can be withheld, not just your federal income taxes, but what are called FICA. FICA is known as the Federal Insurance Contributions Act. And the two major components of FICA that we see on nearly every paycheck is Social Security and Medicare. As of 2008, so this may have changed. I don't think it's changed a terrible amount, though. The overall tax rate for FICA is about a 7.65% tax rate. Of that, this breaks down to 6.2%.
Is it 7.65?
7.65? Social Security works as follows. Of this 7.65% is broken up into 6.2% is the Social Security tax. And Social Security only taxes you for the first $102,000 you make per year. Anything over that is not taxed by Social Security. So when we're looking at, if you say are making more than this, we're only going to look at the first $102,000. So we'll only look at that first chunk is going to be taxed on Social Security. Medicare, however, makes up the balance of it, which comes out to be 1.45%. Notice these two things add together to give the total FICA. And this is on all earnings. So Social Security, when we're looking at what's your FICA tax, we're only going to look at the first $102,000 of it. but for Medicare, we'll look at everything. So how does that break down? So if I ask you, how much does someone get taxed on, say, a $24,000 income? For the Social Security, we'll take the first $24,000 and multiply it by 6.2%. Do we need a refresher on how to multiply by a percentage? Yes, no, maybe so. Multiply by 0.062. Decimal to percentage to decimal, move 2 spots to the left. Is the Social Security. The Medicare is the same gross pay times the Medicare rate. And when we add those things together, we'll get the total. So let's see. Can someone do the find Social Security for us first?
1,480.
That's way too much.
Sure. Yeah, I got the same thing.
6% of oh yeah, okay, I'll agree. I'll go with you there. What was it?
1,480.
For the year? 6%. 1%. Okay, sure. How about the Medicare? $348. So total, the FICA was taken out was what? 6, 12, 3, 8, $1,836. Did I do that addition correctly? For this larger income, it's going to be slightly different in that Social Security, we're only taxing the first $102,000. So when we calculate the Social Security portion of this, we're only going to look at the first $102,000 of this income. But for the Medicare, the entire bill, the entire gross pay gets taxed. So it can be a little bit tricky if we're looking as we're calculating. Notice I only tax the first $102,000. So I'm only going to multiply that by my Social Security tax. And can I get a calculator? Yeah.
6,324 and 1,590.
Thank you very much.
Our total hours then that 19. 19 is 1. Yeah, no. 7819. 7919.
Just say this should be a 9. 7919. For a grand total. Okay. On the back side, net pay is simply the total pay. Net pay is simply your gross pay. And we'll take out the deductions. It's also known as your take-home pay. Call it take-home pay because that's how much money you actually get in your check to be deposited and so forth. This is what you really care about in your paycheck, is your take-home pay. This is how much you actually getting. Okay. Calculate that. We'll take a look at. We have to since we have to find all the deductions, add them together, take that away from the gross pay. So, for example, let's see, Forrest here earned a gross pay. This is supposed to be the word of, not faux. 400 gross, $426. Let's find all of his deductions and add them together. Let's see, federal taxes of $39. Social Security taxes of 6.2%. Oh boy, I can't just write 6.2%. I'm going to actually calculate a number here. What's 6.2% of his gross pay here? 426 times 0.062 will tell us his Social Security contribution. Medicare is also written as a percentage here, so let's take that. That's out of his entire pay here. He's got health insurance is $45.80, and he's also a member of the wonderful union of whatever he works for, which is $12.56. We come up with all the things that get deducted from Forrest's paycheck here. Can someone give me this number? What's the Social Security? Kara, what is that?
26.1.
Thank you.
41.
41. Awesome. How is Medicare? Someone? Anyone?
$6.17. Or you can round it up.
We'll say it was 17. That's fine. We'll be the nice government today. So we'll add up all of his deductions here. Let's see, 39. Has someone done this yet? 39 plus 2641 plus 617 plus 4580 plus 1256. Total deductions. Are what? Someone help me out with the calculator. Anyone?
129.9 or 95.
So Forrest is going to have $129.95 deducted for a take-home pay. Is his 426 minus this 129.95, which is a grand total of what, 5 cents and 4.96, 296 and 5 cents. I'll write that a little bit less terrible. 296 and 5 cents. You're going to be asked a bunch of questions relating to this tonight, as far as it's concerned. Calculating, using percentages to calculate various deductions, and so forth. Okay, questions so far? All right, in that case, let's look at the last part here. Other things that are pretty important to your paycheck and pretty important to your job in general is benefits. Benefits are anything that adds value to a job, not included in wages. What's like the most, I guess, ubiquitous employee benefit? Do we know what word ubiquitous is? Commonly seen? Healthcare. Probably the most hot button issue right now. Healthcare of any way, shape, or form is generally one of the most popular employee benefits and one of the most important ones. Okay. Your total job benefits is your net pay. Oh, sorry, excuse me, we're not net pay, gross pay. Plus benefits. And net benefits, if you hadn't picked up at this point, Gross tends to mean just positives. Net tends to mean where you've positives and negatives combined. The net benefits are defined to be your net job benefits are your total benefits minus the job expenses. What expenses could you possibly have in like a job? Can you think of some? Transportation. It's a big one. Any other ones? What kind of expenses do you think my job has as a teacher in high school? What kind of expenses do you think I incur on my own? What's that?
Supplies.
Supplies. Sometimes I have to buy my own supplies because people forget their pencils all the time. Any others that I might have? Because you're in school a lot, Ethan. Time. Unfortunately, I don't have a direct. I wish I could charge the school directly for the amount of time I spend outside, but things that I actually spend money on.
Gas.
What's that?
Gas. Gotta get here.
Gas. Yep. You can count that. This is something what you're looking at.
Food.
Food. Sure. Like I have to buy lunch. Clothes. I need to. There's a dress code. Believe it or not, I gotta actually look presentable to you guys. Paper, anything I buy for my room, decorations like my Michigan flag and stuff. That's an expense. That sort of thing. And then, not just me, but we have in general. Your job will have expenses that you'll have to take into consideration. I have one last example here, and then we'll get you some time to work. And M. Stone, you get the last shout out on the notes for today. M. Stone's job pays her $33,750 in yearly wages, and 26% of her wages on top of that in yearly benefits. So what this is saying is that on top of that, she's going to get another 26% of her wages are going to be in the form of health care and other sorts of benefits that she gets as well. And she estimates that her job expenses are $2,354. Okay, so M's current job. Let's look at her current job. Is her pay $33,750. Benefits her benefits we can calculate by finding that percentage of them. But her expenses $2,354. She's looking at a different job, however. She's looking at this other one. Other job. And it's the following. It's going to pay her slightly less. $32,590. But the benefits are a little bit better. To the tune of 29% of her wages, not just 26% like the old one. And her expenses are also slightly lower. Which job offers the greater net benefits? And if so, and once you know that, how much greater? From this, we can calculate. We can analyze her current job. We can analyze this job she's thinking about possibly applying for, and weighing the two. And notice that we're comparing them not just on the pay, because the benefits are very important. In this case, she's getting 26. This is 29. She's getting quite a bit more in benefits, 3% more in benefits in this case. So is that going to outweigh the slight reduction in salary? Well, we can find out. Calculator. Let's see. Let's see how much money she actually is getting in benefits. She's getting, what, $33,750 times She's getting a value of $8,775 in her first job. In the second, slightly lower paying job, she's getting a little bit more out of the benefits. So let's see, her net job benefits, as we set up here, is her total benefits minus expenses. So we'll take pay and the benefits together, add them up, and subtract the expenses. So in this case, the net benefit of our first job is $33,750 plus her benefits, and we'll subtract the expenses. Leave her with a net benefit from this job of $40,171. Play the same game over here. We get 32,590 plus 94,501.1. Subtract. They're close. All are real close. But it still looks like her current job is a little bit more. And in fact, their current one is, what, 40171 minus...
It's a couple $100.
She's actually going to benefit by about $210 more by staying in her current job, in this case.